Later in that year, 18 SAS soldiers were killed in a training accident in Townsville when two Black Hawk helicopters collided during a training mission. 4 good mates were killed. For no real particular reason, I left the Army in October 1996, returned to Melbourne, and was intending on joining the police force. I was only out of the Army for a week when I walked into a flight center and booked a one-way ticket to London via Thailand. I flew down to Tassie and spent my last weekend with my brother Damien, who was studying law at Hobart Uni. And with little fuss a week later, I was sitting in a bar in Bangkok. It was here I met a Brian Chamberlain, an Australian Vietnam veteran that had an engineering company in Bangkok. We got talking, and then he told me that he knew some Army blokes from 3RR that owned a small hotel in Pattaya, a beach resort town 2 hours south. To my surprise, it was Ron Grimes and Greg Asuter, 2 of my old friends from Sydney. The next day, I went to Pattaya and met Ron, who was surprised but strangely almost expecting me. Later that afternoon, I was drinking in Ron's bar at the Anzac Hotel when a couple of Americans sitting nearby overheard my conversation about me thinking about going to Burma. They sort of came over, offered to, but me a drink, and they explained how their company was selling. We opened to the Thai Army, and if I could get into Burma and take sort of military-type photos, they would be very interested, and of course, pay me. At this time, it was still very dangerous in Burma. Foreigners were being taken hostage and were worth millions to the rebels. The next day, I returned to Bangkok and went to the Burmese embassy to get a visa. It was near closing time, and they stamped my passport without question. In hindsight, it was a good decision that I left most of my stuff, my old army pack and some equipment in Pattaya. I decided to travel light, a small bag. A few clothes, just the bare essentials. I remember phoning Damien from the Bangkok airport shortly before my flight to Rangoon, just letting him know what I was up to. A few hours later, I touched down in Rangoon. It was about 10 p.m. at night, and the air was stifling with humidity, the air full of locusts. As soon as I got into the taxi, the driver was asking if I wanted to go change my money on the black market and of the local political situation with the Army. The official rate is 5 kyats to $1, but on the black market, 170 to 180. I was not sure who to trust, but still I changed some money. Later that night, after I found a half-decent hotel, I went into the city of Rangoon, found a okay sort of pub, a nightclub, and also met some staff from the Australian embassy. I made some good contacts, and I was invited to a BBQ at the embassy. I had also met a beautiful French Burmese girl that became my sort of guide travel companion. The next few days, I just did the tourist thing, taking as many photos as possible, especially of military-type things. Police, military checkpoints, soldiers, tanks, patrol boats, etc. I left Rangoon and traveled to Mandalay, a 14-hour train ride to the north. I later traveled into the mountains to meet some Karen people from the hill tribes, some of the most wonderful and friendly people, living somewhere 50 years ago, trapped in time. I returned to Rangoon, and I was stupid enough to get some of my photos developed at a 30-minute Fuji place. This was in the days before computers and digital cameras. When I went back towards the photo place, there was a truck of soldiers parked outside, and some mean, Rottweiler-looking soldiers were in the shop arguing with the owner. I was a bit cautious and suspicious, so I didn't approach but went back to my hotel. As I approached the hotel, one of the porters ran out to warn me that the soldiers had come and were asking questions about me, about this strange foreigner. Now, paranoia set in. I went to the nearest travel agent to get the next flight out the following morning. I didn't return to my hotel, I just left my few clothes there, nothing really important. I had my passport and small pack with me. I found a small guest house just to sleep, my last night, and even when I tried to contact my beautiful friend, she became too frightened to meet me. The next morning, with my heart in my mouth, I went to the airport. I held my breath until the plane touched down back in Bangkok. I returned briefly to Pattaya before volunteering for 2 weeks in a refugee camp on the Thai Burma.
The river into Myanmar looks more like a muddy trickle than a border. People float across on big black inner tubes, selling cigarettes, whiskey, and anything else they can carry. A carton of Burmese cigarettes goes for just over $2. On the Thai bank, there's a market with teak carvings, trinkets, and a mix of every ethnicity you can imagine. Thai, Burmese, Karen, Hmong, Lahu. Even some refugees hitch rides in from the camps just to escape the monotony for a while. Mae Sot feels like a crossroads, humming with small trades, but also with the quiet presence of volunteer groups working with the refugees. Last night I met Andy and Erin, a young couple from Sydney. They've been here 2 months already, planning to stay one more. Like so many who come, they want desperately to help. Andy teaches English and runs a toy-making project for disabled Karen kids. Erin works as a therapist, trying to include children with disabilities into daily life. They spoke honestly about how hard it is to balance their own values with local beliefs. We don't want to impose our culture, Erin told me, but we do want to help. For her, the greatest struggle is persuading parents that handicapped children are worth the effort, that their lives can have dignity. Many here believe disability is a punishment from a past life. Erin grimaced as she described being told to spend her time on the smart ones. Andy, meanwhile, said the hardest part is giving people a sense of purpose. The camps are filled with thousands who can't change their country's future and are left to wait. With waiting comes boredom, drugs, and despair. His dream is that the small projects he starts, like toy making, will survive after he and Erin leave. Other volunteers work in medicine. I heard about Dr. Cynthia's clinic, begun back in 1988 for students fleeing Myanmar. Today it treats tens of thousands every year and helps with jobs and education. Blood donations are always needed. Passing travelers often roll up their sleeves. Despite all the hardship, the Karen spirit feels unbroken. Monchu, one of the men I spoke to, said simply, "We are thankful for the Thai soldiers and for the volunteers. We survive because we are together." Later, climbing a small hill above a stream in Mae Ra, I stumbled into a game of keep-away with a plastic ball. The children's laughter echoed over the camp. When I gently tossed the ball to a shy new boy, it bounced square off his forehead. Everyone burst into laughter, including him. Soon he was sprinting barefoot in the dust, eyes shining. When I finally left, a little girl who had been holding my hand didn't cry. She just waved, smiling with a radiance that made it impossible not to smile back. That smile has stayed with me. It was pure light in a place that lives so much in shadow. Sean.